for school days ni ade nyina oba party life as we be wuramu the national party sem we wuramu adi mu dwuma support youth ase ho ni nyina je se NPP de we wuramu akwa aba ne ade adi mu dwuma na wa ba dwuma so wa ban mu so hu wa be deputy pen minister wasan so wuramu aye MP. It's just a lot of things. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
Bibi aboko de.
Nyame di achebe. Amonso e.
Adom ne mpai boy ho ye pa na. Ene ye ni ajeso abehra because ko man ye di no. O de o si mu ache. Edi wa wura mu ye pa. Edi nim a lot of issues na. Ye beba so ansa na. Menim say o knowledge in finance and na fi nso no kra no local governance. Especially in terms of waste management. When we say e-waste, krana na edi animu ni ade. Ye be wura nsem bebre mu anesa. But ma mimi sa PhD ni ye.
Dabi, me wie.
Aka crown.
And more politics kakra na across the
na politics ni edusi ane to say.
Enye better. But nyame adom.
Ugusu kakra.
Ebe wie.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yenye ya anom de ibi.
Sir.
Yenye ya anom de.
Ade, ya anom ye de.
Na wonte de aba. Enra director kwantre for pen ma menchia ye tiefo.
Sure. Pijama
na menchia asanteman.
Right.
It's always refreshing to be in Kumasi.
Sure.
This is my second time in this studio.
Wonderful.
Yeni mo di juma bebre. Meda asanteman ase meda mechia MPP fo nyina.
Okay.
From the former president, the former vice president, former ministers, former members of parliament, current members of parliament, Obia was everywhere MPP abaimo, from the national officers to the polling station executives. Bichia Obibia no pay. Ya to abawie ye is a mass servant. And then he died dikanya me kasa wo radio so ana television. So.
Oh wow.
And then he died dikai. After say ye to abanu wie ye. Menkasa wo kasa fide bia so
ene ene de nsem a ahye omu nyina heya na be
menkasa wo bia ene me breaking the ice at Nhyira FM.
Wonderful.
104.5
wonderful.
I'm just say etie for bebre etie all over the country. Meda obi bia ase meda MPP for nyina ase na ohene said ye we say bisa no nsem no de bebre now
before so because I think say from Ningo Pram to Botiano English. I'm from as former MP. Not Jenny need to say because you who MP so that's me name say stress be what Jenny ni mu ntima what behaviors no answer kra ni abaso to say
well and that form.
Okay.
And that form. So my journey in politics spans over 32 years.
32 years.
Yes, as young as I met here, I started in Tempa.
Okay.
I started in Tempa. It started from my late grandfather, JT Doku.
Okay.
And my uncle, Sana Omoye MPP. Ye from 14 years, 15 years. That is what we saw.
Wow.
Because it was the MPP. From my days in Ghana National, from polling station level as an executive, because so be a constituency secretary.
Wow.
For Ningo Pram, because so be a TESCON president our university, TESCON secretary our university. Me manage constituency campaign in the run up to 2008 elections in Ningo Pram. I was a campaign manager.
Wow.
For the whole constituency in Ningo Pram. Be a constituency secretary. Me be a parliamentary candidate twice in Ningo Pram.
Right.
And in Ningo Pram before me be a parliamentary candidate. It was difficult to even get vote in Ningo Pram.
That was in 2012.
2012, I'm a parliamentary candidate because I was a secretary and I proceeded to become the parliamentary candidate for the party unanimously. A party for Ninaji Tumse, leading party. I was very young and tiny against E.T. Mensah. Nobody could give you a dog chance there, but we had the highest record in terms of vote in that constituency. That record still stands in Ningo Pram. 2012 elections, I almost unseated E.T. Mensah. 2016. The dynamics change.
Wonderful.
Jamiadum 2016, President Akufo-Addo, Mami Akwenya to serve in government. I was the first ever chief executive appointed for as an administrator for the E-Waste Fund in 2017.
And so
in 2019, President Akufo-Addo again sent me to the National Youth Authority as the CEO of National Youth Authority because he is CEO of National Youth Authority. Besansu Friho Echo Parliament. In Parliament, I served as a vice chairman of the Communications Committee for the entire period I'm in Parliament. I also served as a member of the Finance Committee in Parliament. I served as a member of the Local Government Committee in Parliament.
Wow.
Maybe a Deputy Minister of Information and Anado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Of course, I've been a critical voice for the NPP in the communications front. Wow. My manager, Freddie Blay, 2014 as the first vice chairman. My manager, 2018 as a national chairman aspirant. He became a national chairman. I've been around in the NPP for a very long. My entire 32 years has been dedicated in serving the NPP. Wow. And now I've served also as a member of the National Council. I served as a member of the National Organizational Committee of the NPP. I served as a board chairman of GEA. Also served as a member of the Greater Accra Regional Lands Commission's board. So in government, in politics, student politics,
within
every
the party,
space I've served.
Wow.
And I think that the experience I've garnered over the period, I think at this time where the party is, everybody is crying. I want to put my services at the disposal of the party as a general secretary of our party. And of course, the length and breadth across the country, the party MPP for, Obi Bia MPP ni, Obi Bia Ote Anopai. Everybody is concerned about the MPP. Where are we going today? But I know, in the midst of the storm, there will be calm. And when that calm prevails, MPP will bounce back. Because look, Myanmar, ACC, and A, Ama Yadwin A feed the critical things MPP should focus on. 6 months of John Mahama's administration, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. And that's what saddens me.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Why?
Worse. The direction of this country.
Ghanaians are happy.
What are you happy about? Are you happy about a government that inherited GDP growth of 5.7% and a government that has targeted 4.0%? Are you happy about that to begin with? Are you happy about that? Are you happy about the government?
But if you look at the rate of inflation, the
rate of inflation, you have your target. You have your target of inflation. What target as a buying? You have your expected growth in all sectors. When you put all that together, you arrive, say, my economy will grow at a certain rate. So they did not target the 4% growth at the blind side of the inflation.
No, looking at our debt to GDP, what inflation, what other indicators, we are performing.
It is the combination of all these that the government says that the economy will retrogress.
Why?
That you ask them. You ask them because nobody make a projection on nothing. So these are important questions that we should ask.
But say, what can I say now? You boom composure all the promises. Okay, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, we come to the NPP proper, but all the governance, NDC, we yabano. Let's look at it. Baumia, Nancy, in Casa, Yamuche say, and no maybe a buying no promises and go background or obey. Especially some taxes and could be ye through fuel prices and no things and kebeba from which are buying we know so a 2-1 more. And of course, Ghanaians are happy say, oh, I'm at so transportation fares so chromatic so any other day. And Baumia can I say, I said not by money yen no papa, yes, and Casa no man, no crown, yes, and go bar, and no obey. So why are you saying that buying why ye sadi is no a bad?
So I buy and all these taxes, our promises about free. With all that and all indicators put together, we had a growth rate of 5.7%. Now, now I have clearer vision say, oh, me the bekwa kosia me be can engine abo my 4.0%.
But there were time where more running around 2.7, 2 point something. A program now I buy near 6 months old.
So I'm saying your target. I'm saying your target.
Right.
You can't make a target on nothing. That's the basic point I'm making. You have access to all indicators and you made the projections. And I was say baby Ghana so we need to interrogate them. In any case,
right.
The taxes are in Ghana because of the Deregulation Act. Anyhow, you price your petroleum product. The cardinal point is the cost of crude on the world market price.
Right.
Even that, when Ghanaians are beginning to enjoy the windfall of the price reduction on the world market price, crude oil, no, Abayan said they're beyond TSA or the one cedi per liter tax aba. Out of 1,000 cedis fuel, you are supposed to pay 83 Ghana cedi.
So just to make say you be young,
just to make what? But we had a government,
and you guys are.
We had a government.
You NPP mu blame so and all that. Me wa mo kono mo kire say muja ka kese to wa. A man kania ho nsem na to api, but mu blame mo. So if they have avenues to get the money, almost answer say
we were not in Ghana for 3 months or 1 year. We were ruling this country for 8 years. Mm-hmm. The NDC administration, the legacy debt of the energy sector. Go and ask them. They left about 2.7 billion for the NPP. We had managed, even though there were escalating prices of crude oil and all the factors they are mentioning today, we were able to maintain stability and give light to the good people of this country.
But at the last 8 years, challenge, Kakra.
What were the challenges?
There's never been
the comment. Of course, in Kumasi, you knew in Kumasi when they fixed it, the light off went away. These were systemic challenges that will come any day. So what are you talking about? So in any case, when they are saying, say, if we don't get the taxes, we are going to get them. So what it means, what is the difference? So today they are saying that and one night attack on Iran by Israel, they've halted your friend is saying, the supposed demonic tax now on Monday ban.
You call it demonic?
Of course, it's demonic.
Why?
It's demonic because if somebody says that ye levy, ye levy, who sending 100 Ghana cedi, the first one is free. The next one is 1 Ghana cedi on 100 Ghana cedi. Now you come and you are bringing over 10% and you think that is good to keep quiet. Benjamin Chadie, even in this studio, I've watched you criticize it. And I hope they listen, not to defer. That is why the minority is calling for an immediate motion to repeal it, not to suspend it for future introduction. There's so many things. A government that promised 1 job, 3 people. 1 job, 3 people, 24-hour economy. After 6 months, they've laid off so many workers in this country, more than any government in the history of the Fourth Republic. How did we recruit them? Let me give you a critical example at Maritime Authority. Maritime Authority, last week or 2, you heard Edward Sari whipping on radio about the deputy women organizer's husband in Adenta, who had been caught up in a mass dismissal. Only also say and restating is more human than the NPP people who are stuck or Ghanaians.
But that matter. For your surprise,
we recruited people. You see, that statement shows that statement shows we were not recruiting only NPP people. Because if the husband of a women organizer of a constituency, NDC women organizer, had also been recruited, what it means there, the government was impartial.
But Ghanaians being so as a surprising say all of a sudden getting closer to the election 2024 no vacancy ababe bremi recruiting which appointment letters don't wanna say 2024 getting into it. Omo fin say bia mo free aban mu ntimo kofa how they abeto so am make promotion.
Let them go and check the data of progressive recruitment every year into the public service because the economy was growing. Okay? Go and check Bisawomo, and the people they are sacking today, they are replacing them. So if there was no need for them, Maritime Authority, you see, we work with laws in this country. You come into office, you did not even have a board. The CEO or the Director General, Swomotu, wrote to sack all these people and started recruiting people without even a board. And we sit in this country. That is why I'm saying, sir, there's much to talk about. NPP 4, what is happening at the blind side of all Mahama is perpetrating crime.
In what sense?
Was settle and then what pamono or then
na se mobile yenso na nado dan ko ekufu ado tu
not in the public. Look,
there were people who were sacked.
Like which people?
Is there?
I'm telling you, people who are legitimately
I think Ghana
employed.
Web and other things reported. Ekufu sacked some people.
Let me tell you, so if clear. You are an appointee, a political appointee of the president, you don't even wait to be sacked. But people in the public service,
there were people
to
in the public
the extent that
were sacked.
Teachers, nurses,
at your time,
nurses and teachers,
they were
nurses and teachers sacked. Nurses and teachers,
public,
bring the evidence.
I don't know the group of them, but we said public sector.
I am telling you, if you don't know, don't debate it.
No, I'm saying that you are grouping it to nursing teachers, and I'm saying that they are public sector workers are playing different groups, so you can't group them to nurses and teachers alone.
When you come now say we political appointees. Political appointees, you don't even wait for the next government to sack you. Even those who go to the public service.
That one is clear.
It's clear. But now they've descended.
But you saying that they over 3,000 or so? Figure the thousands of people who were sacked at that time. No, appointees.
You see, bring the facts. I've given you issues at Gapoha, issues at Bank of Ghana, issues at Maritime Authority. The processes without cost to anything because they feel say NPP now appointed woman. Everybody must go. Go to Gifford, go to a friend is saying NCA, go to all these places. We had people who were in this. Look, in this country, we must grow our public service with confidence so that there no be here Juma or Benya Akukudo. If that is what you are saying, and anybody being employed at this, because then the next government, and this will not be in government forever. So be mindful, and the media should be a watchdog. Other than that, say you feel that you be equalization, then get them informed that they should also get ready. In the event of a change of government, it will happen.
All right, Jeff, media send you into
just project. If you want the equalization, let's go.
No, but
that's what you
cannot also say it didn't happen. So let's go. It's not there.
So I mean, I'm saying that we should be talking about it. We should be talking about them.
Yeah,
let's be talking about them.
There are issues, and we have concerns about both sides, MPP,
so,
NDC.
To what extent say you bet nasi say ebia enti Mahama Abano or promises that one job 3 people.
So that is it. Which Akufo-Addo sacks 13,000 public sector workers. Not say you are grouping to nurses and what they said that in what has been described as reenactments of dismissal of some 568 selected public servants by their forbear government of Prime Minister. They were just giving background history, and when you come to this side, it says that let me go back. Okay. So he said that the sacked public sector workers include 9,639 workers as reviewed by the minority in parliament February this year. Similarly, 47 years down the line. So they were giving some background history. And when you look at it, why he said that the 216 beneficiary monitoring assistance of the YE, some civil servants of seats of government, and then also, yes, he gives last week over 100 employees of driver and vehicle licensing authority also have their employment terminated by Akufo-Addo. So all these are some descriptions of them.
You see, Nyama in the write-up, amounts to 13,000.
No, just that the breakdowns are there, plenty. He said that employees of Maslog, NADMU, SNIT, VRA, Greco, it mentioned a lot of them.
Let me
and they are there. So that is it. And it confirms the fact that some people were dismissed.
There were people.
We agree.
There were people.
You agree.
There were people that were sacked under NPP.
You agree.
Please, Tubo.
Okay.
There are people that have been sacked under this regime.
Right.
I won't even comment about it.
Okay.
For instance, if you go to a NIP, these were people who were not. They were like contract staff.
Okay.
Their appointment were not regularized.
Oh, he said the public sector.
I'm coming. Mm-hmm. So for me, if you are working at an institution, we don't know how the clearance came. You were not properly recruited. I don't have a problem.
Right.
But people who had gone through the process,
right?
They've gone through the process with proper appointment letters. There must be a basis and reasons. Nema wokika wo hanyina no say a friend say go into
wabo DVA
why until
not only why honorable there are other ones also mentioned
say 100 people a monitoring staff at DVLA
some wokika bo ma statistics.
So I'm telling you I've given you a basis say who call monitoring. Were they properly recruited or they were contracted?
That people? Is the same thing the NDC people are telling you.
But no, I've given you places like Maritime Authority. I have appointment letters duly signed. These are permanent staff. There are difference in the what we are talking about.
Right, honorable. Your point, your time we need to different issues. So, General Secretary,
yes.
Nhyira MPP must say. I think we have about 5 minutes to we na yemfa emubungwem. In fact, Open General Secretary, looking at the MPP. A visit top bottom approach in the M1. Now you coming in. Uhuni say free here and Kebeboa all the Penifo Akoye, why a member of the National Council so pain near Akoswe. How do you see it?
Well, first of all, we are used to organizing and reorganizing our party from the bottom to the top. That's been what we are used to. When you practice a system over a long period of time, from 1992, now you think there's a need to remodel the systems now. I mean, there's been concerns about the structures we've run over time. And everybody in the NPP, all the political parties, we've had the worst apathy in the history of the Fourth Republic in the last elections. And until say impending for the suggestions be by, it behoves on leadership and promulgators of such idea to really explain to people very well to really understand where I sit. The information is not complete. They called National Council. I know, say, Omudiaba. Now, you see, the point is that people are confusing the situations. It is only National Council that has exclusive jurisdiction over setting of date for elections. And they proposed 31st January for the date of the presidential elections. The issue of reorganizations had not come up yet. And you will fight. What are you fighting? But people are concerned, say we see and 31st December, January 2026, presidential elections. Electoral college when I do to Sabano.
Okay.
What do you say? So the issue of early Congress, nobody in this MPP are on early Congress.
Okay.
National Council has original jurisdiction, say yes, 30 date for presidential election as early as we are all calling for, 31st January 2026. Now it behoves on national executives to come back and tell us this is the electoral college, especially when you propose constitutional amendment. The constitutional amendment, it is affecting the entire stages of the electoral college, from polling station, electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, region and national. The proposed Edico conference, it is affecting all these stages of the electoral college. And it's out proposing 31st January. So are you saying after July, your call conference, now your G amendment need 2 more? Between July to December to January 31st, are you sure you are going to prepare an electoral college as a memorandum? The announcement say you be nominations, so we are waiting for national officers. Here call conference. These are matters before conference. Here can say it might even happen. Say the proposed constitutional amendments will be call conference. Yes, it may happen. I'm saying may. Because it is now going to be deliberated upon for people to decide. And that is the highest decision-making body of our party. But, so for me, I think the date for presidential elections early enough, we are all for early conference. Congress say be a flag bearer. That is fine. But the challenge is what electoral college and Naukako use to exercise this mandate in the National Council. Do
you believe in Omomo College and expanding electoral college?
Do I believe in them? You said, do I believe in them? The Okwe Committee's report.
Electoral college. But you support that idea? When
we lost the elections, there's my Okwe Committee that went around the 276 constituencies in Ghana. And Womo report about. The party has accepted the report and set up a committee, Constitutional Amendment Committee. They wouldn't have been that committee. The committee has finished its work and has brought some recommendations. Echo National Council, it is calling for constitutional amendment. It goes beyond National Council. That can only be done by the National Conference.
But you support the idea that the electoral college should be expanded?
Of course.
Okay.
And everybody else believes in that. So the committees work. And my idea and supersede everybody else. That's why we are going to conference. Conference. The decision of conference will be binding on all of us.
Right. Now, who assesses the leadership of the party right now, from national to the base, regional executives need Sanomanomana? Omo effectiveness at saying omo performance, okay, right from time omo base so any election 2024 near there. Some people say enkoye, and of course, over preposition there. A hene washa wa assess ya unse no lapses wo hunti there should be a change.
I don't have authority over the entire process.
Right.
At polling station level, the polling station delegate will determine. We are polling station chairman. Whether we Juma so any and so any, they will make that statement. At the electoral area level, we Juma and I say one ye Juma. It is the people in your electoral area. I'm a member of one electoral area. And there were so many electoral areas, constituencies, 276 constituencies. Say constituency executives. Who ye wojumaye and answer 1 year. It is the delegate in your constituency that will determine it.
But who be general secretary?
So listen.
So you should have a fair idea about.
But if you want to be a general secretary, can you determine what happens in all 276?
Maybe there are so many.
I want to be a general. Of course, many were from.
Right.
Many were from. But I've done so many rounds across the country. I'm talking to a lot of people. But the point I'm making is that who leads the party at every phase of the electoral college is determined by delegates.
Right.
So I can't speak, say, constituency executives. Then what kind of a leadership am I coming to provide for the party? Even at the top, where I want to be the general secretary of the party, it is a delegate drawn from all the 276 external branches, regions, and former executives of this party, that is National Council. Or if the constitution is amended to include some more officers to decide who should become the leader of this party. So that is why you should go and speak to people. As I'm going round, these are many internal issues I will not share on radio. But I'm convinced I will lead this party as a general secretary.
Who rate the current executives, from the national chairman to national executives now? Performance, no, be rating ones.
It's subjective. Whatever I say is subjective.
Yeah,
that is why the delegate
that's
will
why
decide.
I'm asking you.
But you think
now assess the person will be changing on any day. Lapses.
So you see, it is not about me. It's a team that will be put together by the National Annual Delegate Conference to elect leaders for the party. I'll play a role.
Do you just want the position, or you see some lapses, you want to come and...
Let me tell you, the party itself is at its all-time low. The morale of the party is down. We've gone into an election for the first time. Me, maybe I can say, John Mahama wasn't the popular choice for this country. But we suffered apathy. We suffered huge apathy. Look at all the constituencies. By President, or called the TETTEH, former president, he couldn't garner more than 115,000 extra votes from his previous performance. It tells you, sir, Ghanaians are not too much enthused about John Mahama. It is because there's apathy. So there are structural defects of our party that we need to fix. There's leadership we need to provide for the party. There's confidence we need to build in our people. And there's leadership we need to provide for our people.
Currently...
So the leadership is at different stages. You may go to a region, they may be happy with the entire leadership they've had in the last 4 years. They will retain them. Or you go into a constituency, maybe some executives will survive, others will not survive. It goes on like this. But you that you are coming in, what are you bringing on board? That is more important. To be part of a team that will achieve the overall vision of this party is to shape policy and win elections.
So looking at JFK's performance, what are you coming to do differently? I am not
here to discuss JFK.
No, I'm saying that Okope General Secretary, the performance, and those things, people are also saying the weaknesses near there. When we say lapses now,
the mentioning of JFK, it is the office of
now he's the General Secretary.
Oh, please. JFK is not the office of the general, he's an individual.
Yeah.
The office of a General Secretary, I think that it must inspire confidence. First of all.
Right.
Because who war may require a certain class of leadership. In opposition, it will also determine another class of leadership. So for me, it is not about JFK as a person. It's about the office, how that office is structured to inspire confidence in the party, build structures and strategies that will make the NPP more attractive to win an election for the party.
So the office is not doing that now?
May say, the office as it stands now, if it is all so rosy, the party will not say, after every 4 years, go and test your popularity and your strength and let people assess you. Okay. So the good people of our party, the delegates, are going to assess all of us and they'll make a determination. And I trust the judgment of the NPP delegate. They won't make a mistake. They will always give leadership to this party. So when they give you the opportunity, they'll come back to assess you.
Okay.
They'll come back to assess you. And you have a history.
So when you become a general secretary, if all things goes in your way and then you become a general secretary, candidates are obey. Candidates are 31st say enyabam na conference mu jetu mu a na 31st ye kuyi a omo a ebe pre ni nyina no why pa na wo susu say Yeah, I know it's a very.
It's not.
Yes,
it's not.
Why partner we should say, yeah, the need be anymore. Particularly, can be to me any na year pa.
It will be the most, excuse my language, useless on my part.
Right.
Even as a former MP, former deputy minister.
Okay.
Seeking the highest office of our party, general secretary, to come and sit here to tell you, even if my mother, my father, is part of people aspiring to lead this party.
But having known, say, previously, what support Memoaba, what support candidates in EBP, the people are eyeing say no, because you're here with Alan's side or Baumia side, and people are aware that you are close to Baumia. The reason why I'm asking this question, and now have you changed your mind? Say now, fair play, won't support you. That is why I asked the question. Right.
Look, today, the office I'm seeking to occupy, I should be a leader that any aspirant in the party should trust. So, like I was saying, I was making the point. Even if my father or my mother, my brother, is in a race, I will never align with him or her.
Okay.
My alignment today is with the NPP. My alignment today is with the NPP.
Okay.
And I will respect the decision and the verdict of the delegate. Okay. And whoever, look, in my build-up or consultations, I've met all of them. Bachia Jakon, Wabne Japon, Patrick Boama, Brian Champon, Dr. Baumia, Kennedy Japon. I've met all of them. And I've assured them that I'll be a general secretary. I'll be a general secretary. All of them will trust me. You see, what is happening is the process.
Okay.
The administrative process we set in place. Right. Because now you lose the trust and confidence of the rank and file of the people. You can't lead the party in unity.
Okay.
You can't.
Sir, you be our support to Alan Payne and Sana Oba Krabe support to Baumia previously. Based on it, I asked that question. Alan Kwedotre Martin, it's also a factor, and they break away, no, her party the kakra.
Yes.
Who is the general secretary? Strategies we have been saying to get Alan back to the party.
Obia, yeah. And me, let me say here, I'd even informed Alan that I'll be running for general secretary of the party.
Oh, okay.
I'd informed him. And it is not only Alan. If you look at Alan as an individual, and some people make a mistake to say, Alan vote to send on our elections no more. He contributed to their party across the length and breadth of the country. And I think, all of them, people like Yawabian Samoa, people like Boniface Sadiq, people like your friend is saying, Hobson Adoye, a lot more of them. I'll be a bridge for some of them to come back to the party. You go to constituencies all over the country. Yes, I supported Alan at that time. But today, even if Alan were to be in a race and I'm seeking the highest office of a general secretary, I will not align with him. I'll wait for the party delegate to make a determination. Okay. So for me, I'm clear in my mind because my experience from the polling station, constituency, region to this level, I'm well versed to know, the general secretary is the face of the party, and everybody should believe in the processes. They will trust the process. But when they begin to point fingers at you, so nobody supporting any of the aspirants can say, Sly is supporting this person or that person. I'm supporting the party.
Okay.
And I want all of them to trust me, to support me to become a general secretary. I'll give them even playing field as a general secretary. Because don't forget, every elections are the regulations that were set, approved by National Council, should be adhered to and implemented to the latter. You are not being favored by any group of people. So Nyama Airbus is here, Missy Obianto Nebo. They call conference. A conference will speak.
Okay.
We'll wait on the national executives because as of now, it's the date.
Okay.
And now the National Council has set for early Congress, which all of us, including all the parliament, presidential aspirants, but the process is leading. The Electoral College is better about it. So and there was a change. They call conference. A conference will speak. So attacks here and there, and everybody should be mindful. So whatever you say against one another will be the basis for which the person, whether will come and join you and support you or otherwise. So we must be all careful of what we say about any aspirant. But internal contest is always like that. In all political, even in churches. Okay. Even in churches. In Rome, when the Pope died, in conclave. So it is always like that. Even Ghana, now if you are nipa back open of your to Abanubi, and in countries we are all lobbying and praying and hopeful. If you are nipa open as should lead, but it doesn't mean that you destroy the vehicle through which you become the president. Because they are seeking to be flag bearers of the party. Then there's a bigger platform, or there's a bigger way from you, honors on you to become president of the republic. Right. So I think that where we are, me, Sylvester Tetteh, seeking the highest office of a general secretary, I will not align with anybody apart from the party.
Okay, right. Into final words to Elmoa ATU. Says Wabakumasi, Omuna ATU. Or final words nafi.
Dear me, can't NPP for say John Mahama or the Bewoho. The signs are clear. Say we are not in the right direction. NPP 4 in Ghana everywhere. Meaning said ye air kosoi. Nkosiaga, it will be much ado about nothing. It's the same old John Mahama and his NDC. Yanka Yakumantu Yayim. Now we should seek the unity of our party and come back to rescue this country. And I believe, sir, Nyama Ebu Bobai, propaganda, and one of them crediting the DDEP for the first time, saying, sir, the domestic debt exchange, economic, briefing space to restructure the economy. The gold for oil policy, NPP are minded by over 30.187 tons of gold, has contributed to the strength of the city. Yeah, Bombay said they will continue the policy. Now said you strong economy. Okay. And then celebrations are the biggest cardinal idea stimulating economy is the cost of capital, interest rate. Right. What is the interest rate? We are doing GRR of 28% plus 5, 32%. I think, sir, when we celebrate the fall of the dollar and the rise of the cedi, we should also be looking at the cost of capital. Right. What stimulates economy and ensure that Ghana 4 will create more jobs. But the government that promises one job, 3 people, 24-hour economy. Today, what are we seeing? There's a risk of even sleeping in the dark, not to talk of 24-hour economy. Right. So, Kumasi 4, Monim, NPP, Mwakuma, Mubibia, Mbompai, Namejidi say, Sabi, Oba Fafun, answer no Bewono, a pray, Aquadan a pre one him, and son a Pia Bonti. It tells you the party will bounce back. Party Ninyam. Medasi
Honorable Sylvester Tetteh, former MP for Botsiano English Amanfum, and Honorable, thank you for passing.
Right.
Yami Inshallah. Right.